Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. Big week coming up this week as we kick off April, and it's just a little bit of the list. If you'd like to see that full list, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. It's not pretty, it's a long PDF, but it is everything that is available for the coming week. So scroll through that, and if you see something you'd like, just let us know, and we will order that up for you on a pre-order. But in the meantime, though, let's go ahead and dive right in because we do have some things to cover. Expected for release on Friday, the 5th of April, 2024. Kicking off with some great stuff and some brand new stuff from the Black Keys. This is their new album called Ohio Players. Our description says that Ohio Players is the Keys' fourth album in 5 years, a momentum with a simple explanation. Dan Auerbach says, we never stopped recording. Apparently not. So there are two variations, at least for us, of this brand new one. A black vinyl version coming in at a suggested list price of about $28, and an indie exclusive coming in also at a suggested list of $28. So that is brand new stuff called Ohio Players from the Black Keys. Should be a fun one. On the bluesy side, we've got something new also from Marcus King. This is called Mood Swings. And our description says that this music is deeply personal, driven by King's emotive vocals and his much revered guitar work. And whilst the subjects dealt with on this album are often raw in nature, things like heartache, addiction, and mental health, there's always a sense of hope and power in the voice. So again, brand new album called Mood Swings from South Carolina native Marcus King, the Grammy-nominated Marcus King. We have a black vinyl version, this one coming in at a suggested list price of $33. And there is also an indie exclusive, very pretty looking, on orange colored vinyl. That one also coming in at a suggested list price of $33. I'm always worried about getting the name of this next band correct, so bear with me if I don't. Brand new stuff from Khruangbin, and the name of the new album is called A la Sala, and that does mean to the room in Spanish. Our description says that this is an exercise in returning in order to go further, and in doing so, doing it on your own terms. This continues a long line of great stuff coming from the band Khruangbin. Now this one, by the way, according to our description, I'm just going to read this verbatim, Khruangbin's aspirations and commitment to playful creativity even extends to A La Sala's vinyl packaging, of which there will be 7 different distinctive covers and color sets of vinyl. Yeah, so we're only getting 2 of them available to us here at our store. Some bigger box bookstores could have their own versions. You'll have to do some digging, but right now it looks like we can only get 2 of those 7 versions. So the one we see on the right with the reddish colored window, I'm not certain what colored vinyl that is. It doesn't say colored vinyl. That may just be the black vinyl variation, listing for about $25. And then the one on the left, that's A La Sala, that just says colored vinyl. I'm going to assume that it matches the cover a little bit. As they mentioned, this one coming in at a suggested list price of $26. Above and beyond those other 5 variations, you're just going to have to hunt them down, hopefully at other stores, but stick with your indie stores for these 2 at the very least. New stuff also on the way from Vampire Weekend. This is Only God Was Above Us. Double LP pressing housed in a gatefold jacket, including a poster, this brand new 2024 release, inspired by a haunted 20th century New York City. But it does say it was recorded in such far-flung locations as Tokyo, London, Los Angeles, but even Manhattan. A couple of different cover variations of this. The description says that the photo on the album cover by Steven Seagal and other photos from his Subway Dreams series documenting a Jersey City junkyard in the late 80s. So we have the standard version of this coming in at a suggested list price of $39. And then there's another with an alternate cover. This one shown on the right, but still black vinyl inside. That one coming in at a suggested list price of $40, but that's considered to be the indie exclusive, the alternate cover in that case. Onward now to the reissues scheduled for Friday the 5th of April. And we've got a big batch coming from Billy Joel, as is the case usually when they announce a large number of reissues from a single artist. I'm always kind of skeptical that everything will make it in time. But here's what we have scheduled for the 5th of April to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Billy Joel as an artist. And we're starting off with Cold Spring Harbor. These, by the way, are all on 150-gram black vinyl, unless we note otherwise. But Cold Spring Harbor, the debut album from the legendary Billy Joel, originally released in 1971. This one coming in at a suggested list of $29. Then also scheduled for that same release day, we've got Street Life Serenade, the third studio album by Billy Joel, released in '74, also listing for $29. And then Turnstiles, the fourth studio album from 1976, also $29. We skip ahead then to 52nd Street, which was the sixth album released in 1978. Again, we've got that $29 list price. And then we have Songs in the Attic, this one coming in a little bit more expensive at $31. But this was Billy Joel's first live album, originally released in 1981. But there is one more to tack on here, and this is live at the Great American Music Hall, recorded in 1975. This one is a double LP and comes in at a suggested list price of $42. So again, a lot of Billy Joel to choose from, scheduled for the 5th. Make sure you get a pre-order on that just in case they end up running a little bit short or are delayed. We'll get them in if we can. The rest of the reissues, though, for the 5th of April, we've got another one coming from the Nuge. This is Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, a reissue of Call of the Wild. This one coming on purple colored vinyl from Purple Pyramid and Cleopatra Records. Our description says that this is a fully remastered reissue of the legendary 1974 album from hard rock wildman Ted Nugent and his supremely skilled backing band, the Amboy Dukes. That's, of course, when the Amboy Dukes became the backing band instead of just being the overall band. This was the final album Nugent released with the Dukes before embarking on his solo career. The album comes packaged with detailed liner notes done by journalist Dave Thompson, providing some historical context to this important album. Call of the Wild, Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes on purple colored vinyl, listing for about $28. Speaking of Michigan, here is some great ska punk-ish coming from Mustard Plug and a reissue of Yellow No. 5. The description says that this features a mix of melodic choruses and horn charts, loudly distorted guitar, and upbeat punk and rock beats. So if you're not familiar with Mustard Plug, fans of some early boss tones might like this album a lot, but they are a Western Michigan band. Originally released in 2002, we now have Yellow No. 5 on purple colored vinyl from Mustard Plug, listing for about $25. On to a Music on Vinyl reissue, this one from Humble Pie, their self-titled album. The MOV reissue, of course, going to sound great, but this version is on black vinyl. Limited edition 180 gram, by the way. List price for this one coming in at a suggested tag of $39. A pair of reissues from The Used, but there are a couple different versions of each. First up is Vulnerable, and we have a silver vinyl version of that. This one was originally released in 2012 and hit number 8 on the Billboard 200 chart. The silver vinyl version of The Used, Vulnerable, coming in at $25. But there is an indie exclusive version of Vulnerable coming out as well. This one on red and white colored vinyl. I don't know what else makes it an indie exclusive other than just that colored vinyl, but it is a little more expensive, coming in at a suggested list price of $29 for that IEX version. Then, also from The Used, we've got a reissue of Imaginary Enemy, the standard version coming on gold vinyl, that one also listing for $25. And there is also an indie exclusive version of that for a few dollars more. Orange and black and white swirl is what our description says of Imaginary Enemy. That one listing for about $28. A couple of different versions of Garbage reissuing Bleed Like Me. This is a newly remastered reissue of the fourth Garbage studio album, and our description says that this is available now for the first time on vinyl. Originally released in 2005, featuring the hit single, Why Do You Love Me? So the single LP version of Bleed Like Me on black vinyl from Garbage coming in at a suggested list of $28. And they're also offering an expanded version of this with a second LP. That second one, by the way, features rare B-sides, remixes, and alternate versions, along with that remixed version on the first LP. So the double LP expanded version of Bleed Like Me from Garbage coming in at a suggested list price of $33. Here we've got a fun one coming from Proper Records UK, and it's a reissue of Twisted from the band Delamitri. Originally released in 1995, this reached number 3 on the UK charts and spawned 4 top 40 singles. So Delamitri, a reissue of Twisted, 180 gram vinyl, looks to be on black vinyl. Suggested list price on that one is $35. Then we have a reissue compilation from No Doubt. This is the singles 1992 through 2003. Originally released, of course, in 2003. This one is being made available for the first time on 180 gram heavyweight black vinyl. The double LP set features a 12-page booklet that comes with lyrics, liner notes, and photos. So no doubt, double LP, the singles, 1992 through 2003, listing for about $38. Now here is a very interesting one if you're a fan of world music. This is the best of Ladysmith Black Mambazo. The group you may not recognize, but I'm sure you might have heard them before. They collaborated with Paul Simon on his Graceland LP way back in the 80s. The description says that whether they were singing hymns or secular songs, Ladysmith Black Mambazo also raised their voices in glorious harmony. Some really, really cool stuff if you've not heard them on their own before. So this compilation, the best of Ladysmith Black Mambazo, coming in at a suggested list price of $29. And finally, I really don't know where to go with this one, so we'll just toss it out there and see what happens. This is called Buddha Lounge Renditions of Metallica. This was originally released, I think we look back in 2007 or so, but now available for the first time on vinyl. The description says it is 11 Metallica classics that head east for a spiritual transformation into awesome Buddha Lounge versions. Now, if you're like me, you're not quite sure exactly what that means. Well, it's mystical interpretations of songs like Enter Sandman, Fade to Black, One, Nothing Else Matters, and many more. Metallica fans, according to our description, won't be able to resist this unique and evocative collection. It's spiritual medicine for the headbanger in you. So it's basically sitar versions, upbeat ones, of course, but sitar versions of Metallica songs. So I guess if you need to do some Zen relaxation exercises or meditation, but you don't want to give up that headbanging, I guess this would work for you. Buddha Lounge Renditions of Metallica. It's called Black Lounge. Looks like it's coming on colored vinyl from Cleopatra Records. Listen for this one online, by the way. Look for some samples if you're very curious like I was. A list price on this suggested to be about $28, but man, that could be a fun one. Or annoying, equally so. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 5th of April, 2024. If you're local and you see something you'd like, just contact us here at the store and we will put in a pre-order for you. If you'd like to see the full list in PDF downloadable format, I know that's boring, you can head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, you can download that, you can scroll through it and see all of the offerings for this coming week. So until next time, please make sure you are subscribed, by the way, but we will talk to you next time for Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks for being here.